The Great Smoky Mountains. One of the most beautiful places on earth. The home of Hazel Creek. One of the most treasured trout streams in the Southeast. Wildlife is abundant on Hazel Creek. It is not uncommon to see otters, such as this friendly fellow. As well as black bears. And on some trips, we are fortunate enough to see bears swimming the lake. These were a mama bear and her 3 cubs. There are 4 bear cubs in this tree. One is on the backside. A buck in felt. Bald eagles. The scenery during the boat trip across the lake can be spectacular. After reaching Hazel Creek, we load up the carts with all of your gear and pull it to camp. Camp will already be set up when you arrive. This is otherwise known as the Hazel Creek Hilton. You will find many of nature's wonders along the journey. As well as some curious characters. The hike along the trail is beautiful. And the fishing is spectacular. Brown trout ready to spawn, ranging from 18 to 30 inches long. This 21-inch brown was caught in the famed Brown Pool. stories abound around the campfire. Some of them may even be true. No dehydrated meals at our camps. Even homemade ice cream to go with your made-from-scratch cobbler. History abounds, such as this 130-year-old copper mine and the 135-year-old hall cabin. I would like to share a few stories from my friend Gene Laney, who lived on Hazel Creek until he was 17 years old.
It wasn't like it is today. Living wasn't like it is now.
When you caught the fish on the birch poles, what did you use for bait?
Grasshopper or whoop out the yellowjacket's nest. We'd find the yellowjacket's nest. We'd just break us some pine brush and whoop it out and dig it up and get that nest. And boy, them fish will bite that.
Well, there wasn't any radio, there wasn't any TV, and you sang.
We could go up to the Will Cable's. He had a no battery radio, big long battery, and you could set it on the hearth there in the front of the fire and get it warm, and you could listen to the Grand Ole Opry or listen to a fight.
Goodness.
I remember the first television. We went to Marion, and the man I worked for at the sawmill, he bought a television. And we was going over there to watch Joe Louis and Cadoy fight. I'll never forget it. And it rained and rained. And I walked a mile and a half around an old gravel road over to his house. And we sat down, people come from everywhere to see his television. And they got up there and bounced around a little, and Joe Louis hit that man, and they counted him out in 16 seconds, and I walked back home in the rain. So that's the way. There wasn't no fight back then.
What do you do with the bear you kill now?
Well, my wife can cook it, and you wouldn't know it from beef. It's a little coarser meat than beef, but she can fix it so you could eat it, but if it ain't fixed right, a dog wouldn't eat it. Well, good.
I don't guess, have y'all ever been up there? No.
It's your first time over there?
Yeah.
Yeah, none of them's ever been up there, so they're in for a treat, aren't they?
I'd say, I'll tell you, when you get these things off of me and cut this power off, I'll tell you a joke about that.
Oh, go ahead. You gotta tell them now. You gotta go ahead and tell them.
You know Arnold Jenkins, don't you?
Yeah.
He can't go with us no more on account of that boy's sick. But he said he dreamed that he died and went to heaven. He told me this last week. And he said the good Lord was showing him around up there and said he seen these folks over there and a fence around them. And he said this blowed his mind. He said he asked the Lord, said, what do you got that fence around them folks for? He said they was raised on Hazel Creek, and if they get out, they'll go back. That's about right.
And Gene is ever so right. Once you have experienced the magic of Hazel Creek, you will always hold it as a very special place in your heart.